Uh, I don't know. Like I said, I
Tap
really.
into Skyblock and find some shit you'd give me, and I'll say yes or no.
Well, I mean, I have shit. Like, I can, if need be, I got a fuck ton of tallies. Or I can give you a stupid ass cheater. If I were to come back to the game, I'd probably just fish.
Really? That's what I'm doing right now. Think it's worth?
Uh, I don't know, but what I do know is I have full is it? I have full shit to be able to do it. Whatever. What is it? I have full damn, what the fuck was I gonna say? I have a full setup. Like I have a soulbound hellfire rod. Shit, so I could, but question of do I want to?
That's
The
fine.
game sucks.
Like I said, I don't really want to touch Skyblock unless I get fuck is it? Get my Twitch on ban.
Why is your Twitch banned in the first place?
3 strike rule.
What were your strikes for?
So the first time I got banned was because I was describing to a guy in my stream how, for an hour straight, how I was gonna fuck his mother. So I got banned for targeted harassment.
That's crazy.
Second time I legitimately got banned for no reason. It's funny because I was foraging. I was going for foraging 50. I got banned for playing an inappropriate game on stream.
What?
And then they
Though.
sent me a list of things you do on stream or games you're not allowed to play on stream. And like the first one was you can't play Battle Rape. Like I don't think I played that one.
Battle Rape.
Yeah, did you know? Do you know that's a controversial game because of its depiction of rape?
Oh, okay.
Which they took into account and removed the rape from Battle Rape 2. Why would I want to play Battle Rape without the rape? I don't even know what the game's about either. I just know it's called Battle Rape. But after that, my third and final one, which I don't regret, I called Tazboy a faggot. Like,
Said he doesn't
Tazboy is a
regret.
fucking faggot.
hey, just because I said I can say it and I get in trouble doesn't mean we need to test it, motherfucker.
Fortune, I don't know why you join a call with me while on stream. You know I'm not a PG guy.
My only viewer is Botrix, and he's a bum.
I'm not a PG guy, okay? Well, I got your 2 viewer stream banned. It's gonna be sad. You might have to DM.
You are PG because that's the only movie your girlfriends can watch.
Yeah, you might have to DM the 2 people that watch your stream that you had to make a new account, buddy.
Oh, 300 subs. I'm devastated. Good fuck.
Yeah, where those 300 people at, boy? They ain't showing up.
Yeah, probably because I played a different game. I think they don't. Dog. They didn't join whenever I was playing, whatever fucking gay ass game is. Petsum. They all left.
Yeah. That's just trash.
Amen.
Waste of a fucking electricity game, bruh.
Yeah. And I pay electricity in this house.
Wow.
That's a prank. I fucking.
Yeah, well, if you're mature enough, you would.
I was what in the what?
Yep. Alright, I'm gonna go beat my meat and take a shower, and then we play TFT after, Garrett.
Sorry.
First time I heard that. I might cry. God, I love shit talking him.
He's a little geek.
He's a little dark. Alright, let's see how long it takes to sell these fucking. I'd have beat the shit out of you, honestly. Why the fuck do you have nearly 300? That's my question.
It was a 4 bill profit trade.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, I got like 16 bill worth.
But like, you didn't have any more in your stand, right?
It
Yeah.
doesn't. It stand doesn't affect inventory.
Yeah, I'm just retarded. Ignore.
Happens.
All
I
right,
don't know.
huge puffer fish. How much should I sell them?
I do like 5 mil under, and they were selling fine.
5 mil under, and they are 99. I want to kill myself. See, 5 mil. Those are good.
Like, does this dude have to fuck up my E-man boss? Like, seriously?
Wow, I really stole from you. You idiot. Why would you leave an XP and glittering charm? You know it's actually profit to remove them though, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm just way too fucking lazy. Haven't played that game for real in a grip.
I know. I was glad when I heard the what's his name? What the fuck is his name?
Dude,
The dude that left.
fucking cosplaying little child. I know who you're talking about.
What's his name?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I got no idea. I forgot.
Wait, no, it's Trilogy. I'm retarded. Holy shit.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the YouTuber. Yeah, no, Zach.
The YouTuber.
Yeah, do you not know about the Pet Sim YouTuber that fucking LARPs as a little kid?
No, but I do know a guy that's a
fucking.
I know a guy that's a creator.
Oh, Sizzle's Jelly Dad and Sizzle's Jelly Daughter or whatever the hell.
Yeah, he does that shit with his daughter. Come on, man.
Nah, it's not actually his daughter. He's LARPing.
All I know is what happened when them kids got pissed at him is some of the most insane shit I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god, the Twitter shit was so funny.
They were so mad that they couldn't fucking get easy heat. No, I don't think you were really looking at what was happening, Hero. They were posting.
Yeah, they were all freaking out because the odds got nerfed and they were blaming him.
No.
And he quit the game because of it, because they were telling him they'd rape his daughter and shit.
No, they were AI generating pictures of her naked.
Yeah, I know. And making like fucking furry porn out of it. It was crazy. That shit is nuts.
Not coincidence, Trilogy quit the game after that.
Oh my god.
That is ass. But no,
wow. This really did sell for under.
Oh, see? God damn, you left a lot of shit on.
Yeah, I just could not be bothered. I'm pretty sure I used the rest of my crypto to buy all that shit because I decided I was going to play again for like a little bit, just do trading, and then I decided I wasn't going to, so that shit was just sitting on my account. I bought that from somebody for like 9 per bill or something. I don't even know.
I'll probably end up buying your account. I just gotta... If y'all decide how much on Skyblock...
I don't know, $100 in game passes, but realistically, I don't know, I'd say it's probably worth maybe 30 or 30 bucks max in Robux. I mean, you could do that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So give you 2 bill on Skyblock and I can get the account.
On God, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that later.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna wait a little bit. I don't want my shit to get fucking beamed a week after getting this fucking account. I'd be so pissed.
Glad I gave you that stupid fucking...
Oh, it'll sell. That just might take a grip.
Yeah, I know it'll sell. But I had a viewer, one of my mods, his name is Jackie Wacky Owo. He used to come to my stream and give me Contra. But he wouldn't give me Contra that was easy to sell. He would give me shit purposely that would be like... He gave me a Kime 2 Atom Split. I'm like, who the fuck's gonna buy this? Like, let's be so
I genuinely don't think Keim is better than Swarm. Like, actually, I'm pretty confident Swarm does more damage than even Keim 5. Like, I have a level 200 G-Drag. Like, it's max. I guess I don't have gold collection on this account, but, like,
well, yeah.
it's there.
See, there's no excuse now. I'm a shit talk everyone that doesn't have.
I think
that.
Swarm's better.
Uh,
Just for E-Man, though. I know Keim's better, like, for other shit. Like, if we're not talking Atom Split.
I'm not sure.
I'm not either. I'm not an expert on any of this shit. I just lowball.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna disagree, but disagree with a question mark.
Yeah, I don't know. I can barely even do fucking E-Man Slayer, so.
I've done a shit ton with it. I use that, but
just not mechanically gifted like that.
that enchants are a lot more money. Help me out.
I don't know. I mean, I got like everything I could need. Like, I have a hype. I got a term. I have artifact. Like, I got Ender artifact or Ender relic, whatever the higher version is. I got fucking like I got everything I should need to complete this boss, and I am just struggling. I just cannot figure it the fuck
Or
out.
Chen, you use hotkeys to switch through items, like on your hotbar?
I got a Razor Naga Trinity, so I have a thing with 7 buttons on the side. So.
Yeah, Garrett only uses the scroll wheel.
Oh, well, yeah, that's why.
On Skyblock, yeah.
Yeah, bro's just allergic to using.
If I'm playing like an FPS game, I will.
How much do you think I could sell these ultimates for over?
Over? I'm not sure. I haven't seen the market in a grip. But I had them listed for 30.
Well, now they say they're worth 30. So.
Oh, I would do a mil or two over. I think you could get away with it. Probably. Ideally, though, you'd probably want to... Oh my god, it's this faggot again. Come to ruin my boss for a second time.
God, I really am gonna get banned on these. Oh well. I'll just put y'all lower. Like I said, if I was on Twitch, I would care. YouTube channel. Oh, I probably shouldn't. Oops. Probably shouldn't have streamed the anime alphas. Fucking trilogy is saying, "Go kiss some girls, you F slur." Huge Santa monkey. Probably. Apparently, I got some huges on this account. I need to sell anyway. This is gonna help with my shit, aka getting a full team of full team of rainbow shinies. Next goal.
You want a whole team of rainbow shinies?
Yeah, because once I get a full team of that, after that I can officially try to start buying Titanics.
Yeah, valid. How much you be making a week on average?
All I know is right now on my accounts, if I leave them AFK, each account makes 70 to 80 mil. Off of just diamonds, pure. That's that, I'm not sure. Virus. 57. Seven. No, mil. Not working out, really.
I just can't do this shit. It's my fucking autism brain going crazy or something. I don't fucking know. I'm just a retard. Go back to fishing. Fuck all that.
How the fuck does he not use keys? I'm still stuck on that a little bit. Damn. There. Right. The time in my luck.
Where'd that go? Also, I'm sick of seeing this fucking stash message.
I don't know where he went. I think he just immediately left once.
You broke his ego by telling him you don't know who he is.
Wait, you mean Trilogy?
Yeah, I'm just fucking with you. I don't know.
Uh,
He said he's going to shower, dude.
I was like, he told he's gonna shower, and then y'all are gonna
I'm just fucking.
like jack each other off.
Yup. Exactly what's happening. Word for word, bar for bar.
Sexual. They need to lower down the.
Yo, Stress, what the hell were you doing? What in the hell were you doing?
What?
All this shit in the stash. What the hell? What's going on here? What the hell did you have going on here?
What?
I don't know. You have like a bunch of random ass blocks. A fuck ton of arties. Holy shit.
Oh, you mean in my stash?
I mean, yeah, all your shit that I'm picking up right now.
Oh, I just went and like looked on like an NEU missing like for talismans and just started buying shit.
Yeah, my shit's horrible. I'm missing like 8 bill in artifacts or 8 bill in fucking accessories, and it's like 20.
hope I want to play Skyblock again. I'm gonna kill myself.
That's what they all start playing again.
The issue with me is I legitimately played for 2 years straight. Like May 2022 to May 20. And during that time, I on multiple accounts. I like like 8,000 hours, and just the account from me streaming, I did it for like what is it? So much longer.
I'm gonna go to bed. I'm so tired.
Okay, man. Have a
See
great
ya.
night.
I want to keep doing this. Everybody keeps selling these rainbow shiny.
What's your current team?
I've like about to have like 4 rainbow shiny.
40 rainbow shinies is crazy.
Well, during the event, I started buying a ton.
Oh,
But
you bought all those cheaper ones that are like 600 mil a piece?
yeah, they're 500 now.
Jesus.
The only issue with them is that they lag the fuck out.
Yeah, because of the AoE.
These guys. Well, it's not even that. It's because of the picture. Any of the other shit on it. The, which why the fuck did you have this old book?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You need to pray really hard to get lucky. Because I want to upgrade them to 7s, but I don't want to, or I want to get lucky and hopefully get it one of the ones where it upgrades from 5 to 7 automatically. 10% chance. It don't happen up. So that'd be so much more money too.
Yeah. That's fair.
I'm glad you took that Adams split. Needed that.
Yeah, they're hard to sell. I remember when I used to love them. They're just a pain in the dick.
I've tried to sell multiple of them. Matter of fact, whenever I was trying to give my friend the shit before whenever I was buying his shit on them, I tried giving him that. He's like, fuck no. Give me 3 fucking UFOs. Probably say the same. Must have been an invest. I should have invested in them, honestly. No occurred during that event.
Yeah.
reports and photographs that seem to suggest that Tupac was still alive and put them together as if they were the genuine story of how Tupac escaped the country and fled to Cuba and is still living his life out in comfort there. This isn't true. This is a conspiracy, which I admit I've played my part in pushing out there even further. So following on from Tupac still being alive is the next conspiracy theory in the iceberg, which is the 7-Day Theory. Now this actually relates to Tupac's first posthumous album under the name Machiavelli, the Don Illuminati, the 7-Day Theory. And there's actually a ranting blog trying to break down the 7-Day Theory on angelfire.com, saying the recurrence of the number surrounding Tupac's death is called the 7-Day Theory. This theory states that Pac will return to us 7 years after he left, which would be September the 13th, 2003. Whoops. Tupac died at the age of 25. 2 plus 5 is 7. Tupac was shot on September the 7th. Tupac survived the shooting through the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th and died on the 13th. 7 days! Official time of Tupac's death was 4:03 p.m. 4 plus 0 plus 3 is 7. The Outlaws consisted of 7 members. In the video Toss It Up, Tupac breaks a mirror at the very end of the video, which is 7 years bad luck. Are You Still Down was released on November 25th, which is not only the age of his death, but also 2 plus 5 is 7. Tupac's birthday is on the 16th, 1 plus 6 is 7. In the intro of Machiavelli, 7-Day Theory, there are 6 gunshots going off, but when the song starts, there is the 7th. Tupac had died on Friday the 13th. I could go on and on and on. Apparently Tupac was going to come back, and this is the 7-Day Theory. Maybe he was going to come back, be resurrected like Jeebus on day 7 after his resurrection. Maybe it was 7 years, or maybe it's just one giant L because it's a conspiracy theory that isn't true. But then again, let's not forget what an L is upside down. It's a 7, baby. Now the next conspiracy theory is a fan favorite. This is that DJ Vlad is indeed the FBI. DJ Vlad of Vlad TV is a hip-hop staple. DJ Vlad and his Vlad TV channel are probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest and largest voices in the hip-hop media scene. DJ Vlad has interviewed anybody who is everyone, and often that does lead to him speaking to people about their past in crimes, the streets, and the murky criminal underworld. And the fact that Vlad is so good, he's such an amazing interviewer that he can get all kinds of people from all different backgrounds to open up about the dark things that has happened to them. Well, unsurprisingly, that has led many people to call DJ Vlad an FBI informant because of the fact that he often has people from the streets up onto his show for an interview, and sometimes they say incriminating things that they've gotten up to. That's not Vlad's fault. If you want to say something incriminating, that's on you and you shouldn't. If you've done crimes, keep it to yourself. But that hasn't stopped a whole bunch of idiots and conspiracy theorists on the internet saying that DJ Vlad is indeed the police or a card-carrying member of the FBI. And one of the biggest catalysts of this are both the cases of Casanova, where fans on Twitter have blamed his exceptional interview with DJ Vlad for the fact that he got caught up in a massive RICO case, as well as the fact Philly rapper and former drug kingpin AR-Ab even had to come out and defend DJ Vlad after so many people suggested that Vlad's interview with AR-Ab played a role in AR-Ab getting a large sentence. But even AR-Ab himself came out to say specifically that Vlad's interview had nothing to do with him getting locked up. Now this next one, the real 50 Cent, I had no idea about this until I started researching this iceberg, and this one caught me by surprise. This is the idea, this is true, that there's actually another dude who went by 50 Cent. This guy is actually a New York gangster from the streets of the Bronx, and his life and death in the mean streets that rapping 50 Cent grew up in ultimately led to Curtis Jackson to be inspired by the original 50 Cent, Kelvin Martin. Apparently Martin was actually known as 50 Cent due to having a reputation of being prepared to rob anyone regardless of how much money they were carrying at the time. He will quite literally rob you for a pocket full of loose change and be quite happy walking away from the drill with 50 cents. Now unfortunately he was shot on October the 20th, 1987 in the stairway of his girlfriend's project building in the Albany Projects, later dying in Kings County Hospital 4 days later. Julio Wemo Akevdo was actually convicted of first-degree murder and served a decade in jail for the killing of the original 50 Cent. Battle Rap Illuminati, now this is kind of a dumb one. I think I tried to get my head around this one, and I'm pretty sure this is sort of a bit more of an inside joke conspiracy relating to this video that just has a whole bunch of little quick cuts and jokey parts of different battle rappers in different battle rap leagues talking about Illuminati stuff, reacting to Illuminati stuff. I couldn't really find out if there was a real conspiracy behind this or if this was just a reference to kind of this video and these battle rap leagues. When I saw battle rap Illuminati, it made me think, oh, maybe there's some kind of covert clandestine Illuminati that's somehow controlling and influencing the battle rap communities. I did find this book on Amazon called Sacrifice: Magic Behind the Mic, The Conspiracy Behind Rap Music and the Illuminati Manipulation of Hip Hop Through Occult Symbols. I wasn't sure if that kind of related. Maybe battle rap has been by the Illuminati to influence the minds of the youth, especially the kind of twisted, lost youth that are into battle rapping. I don't know. But ultimately, the biggest proof that I found of this was this Illuminati battle rap shit video, which wasn't very entertaining, wasn't very compelling, but hell, kind of makes sense.
So I did no time for any crime. But that's just the difference between a street nigga and a bug. Don't get it confused.
Wow, the stage collapsed. Illuminati confirmed. Alright, this next one is an absolute classic. MF Doom body doubles. In case you didn't know, the metal-faced rapper MF Doom was prolific for sending imposters, fake MF Dooms in the mask, but not really him, to concerts, to shows, to gigs and bookings, taking the bag and giving promoters just some random fat guy wearing an MF Doom mask. A genius finesse, one that many fans that at least weren't being duped by a fake MF Doom thought was kind of funny, but at the same time, this is kind of a screwed up thing to do, and there's actually a few kind of sad accounts of organizations, venues that actually ended up being ripped off by MF Doom, who sent an imposter to play shows, and here's one of them that I'm going to read you now. To everyone who came down to our Live in Doom event on Saturday and are questioning whether that was the real Doom, we are in the same position as you. We had a legitimate contracted gig from his official booking agent, and we were in contact through the entire booking process with his management and label. As far as we were concerned, the real Doom was going to appear. We received news from Doom's management on the morning of the gig that Doom wanted more money or he wouldn't show up. The show was done and intended as a very special and intimate show which wasn't about making money. As we wanted this show to go ahead and was left to ransom to this extortionate request, we agreed to this even though it was a breach of our agreed contract, and in hindsight we should have cancelled the show then and there. At 9:30 we had just opened the doors and we were told by management that Doom would appear but he wouldn't DJ and he was just going to sign autographs. We said this was unacceptable. We had agreed and paid for a DJ set. 10 minutes later we received a call saying he would DJ, or at least that's what we were told. Many people in the venue noticed there was a very strong possibility that the person that was finally sent down was not Doom himself. We paid the fee up front to Daniel Dumoulint's bank account and have the receipts to prove this. We will be seeking legal advice and are doing our best to get his show fee refunded from Doom and his management, and we will then take suitable steps after this action. Basically, MF Doom was a known fraudster. He was really shysty. He was sending fake MF Dooms to gig to go and do fake performances so that he could pick up the bag sitting around from the comfort of his own slippers at home. Over the years, people have theorized as to why MF Doom would do this, how he's even able to get away with this. There was actually this one article on hotnewhiphop.com titled "Why MF Doom is Allowed to Use Imposters on Stage." Now this goes into detail and points out other artists that have been accused of using body doubles over the years, including Kendrick Lamar and A$AP Rocky, with the article going on to describe an Adult Swim performance that was supposed to have MF Doom perform, with fake being sent out on stage, who ended up being legendary comedian Hannibal Buress. Now apparently sending out a famous comedian instead of Doom went down pretty well with this crowd, but as somebody that has actually seen the real MF Doom perform live many years ago, I would say that there is truly no substitute for the metal-faced villain. But that said, now that he's passed away, why stop? I mean, he didn't mind using imposters for shows when he was still alive. Shit, the way record labels exploit dead rappers now, I'm surprised the fake MF Doom isn't contracted to do a 100-city world tour right now. Jay-Z time travel. Now this one is pretty jokes. I actually saw this photograph on my recent video about whether or not Jay-Z is in the Illuminati, and it definitely tickled my side, because a photo of a black man from the 1930s has been circulating for quite some time, and because this man bears such an uncanny resemblance to Jay-Z, many have suggested that Jay-Z is indeed a time traveler. I mean, just look at it, man. It looks like Jay. I'm trying to hear that Reasonable Doubt harpsichord edition. So there you have it. Chapter 1 done. Our easy sky conspiracy theories are all in the bag, and it is now time for something deeper as we slide our way down to the tip. Pause. So a fitting first entry for the tip is the Eazy-E AIDS needles. So this is the idea that apparently during the famous dispute between Eazy-E of NWA and Suge Knight of Death Row Records, there's a conspiracy that suggested that Suge Knight took a needle infected with the AIDS virus and used it, infecting Eazy-E with that virus that would eventually take his life. So there's an article here from High Snobiety called The Conspiracy Surrounding Eazy-E's Death. This says that in a 2011 interview with Hip Hop DX, rapper BG Knockout said, "I believe in my heart that somebody did something to Eazy-E," saying for a person to have full-blown AIDS that quickly is suspicious, saying he had a part brother whose father died from full-blown AIDS from sharing a needle, and that it took him much longer to succumb to the disease than Eazy-E, suggesting as well that somebody suffering AIDS would kind of get episodes of being sick. He suggested he was around Eazy-E for the last 3 years of his life and never observed him having any suspicion that Eazy-E would get so sick and pass away so quickly, and apparently Lazy Bone told Angela Yee that Eazy went in for the common cough or pneumonia in January, and then by February was HIV positive, then by March had full-blown AIDS, and then was dead. Apparently Eazy-E's children that were born after he passed away weren't positive, and even their mothers weren't positive. Nobody was positive. So Eazy-E's death was called suspicious and likened to the killings of Tupac and Biggie, which is where Suge Knight comes into the picture. And Suge said something very incriminating in a Jimmy Kimmel appearance way back in 2003 that had many people suggesting that he might have had something to do with Eazy-E's death, because he said that killing people the traditional ways of shooting, etc., leaves too much evidence behind, and that the smart thing to do is to prick them with a needle that has AIDS on it, suggesting that this is something that had been done to Eazy-E.
See, technology is so high, right?
Right.
So if you shoot somebody, you go to jail forever. So the kids, you don't want to go to jail forever, right? So they got this new thing out there. People sell them all the time. They got this stuff they call, they get blood from somebody with AIDS,
Yeah.
and then they shoot you with it.
Oh,
so
well,
if
that
that's
seems
gonna happen,
bad.
that's
Yeah.
a slow death.
Yeah. Yeah.
An easy thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay.
They were right in the mood.
Wow.
Next up, it's a simple conspiracy, the idea that Biggie Smalls predicted 9/11, and this all relates back to one very simple lyric in the track Juicy, where Biggie famously said, "Time to get paid, blow up like the World Trade." Now, since the September 11 attacks in 2001, many people have suggested, oh, Biggie Smalls predicted what happened to the World Trade Center, but in actual fact, he was referring to another explosion that went down at the World Trade Center back in 1993. This was a pretty well-known incident. Of course, Biggie Smalls had absolutely no forewarning of the 9/11 attacks, let alone having any kind of involvement in them. The next theory on the list is the Kanye MK Ultra theory. This relates to a top-secret CIA experiment called Project MK Ultra, which related to mind control, specifically the use of drugs like LSD on human subjects in interrogation for the purposes of brainwashing or psychological torture. But more generally, in terms of this conspiracy, it's the mere suggestion that somebody maybe has been brainwashed by the government, or is kind of waking up from a brainwashing, or has somehow had their thoughts controlled or altered, and this conspiracy basically suggests that Kanye West has in some way been subjected to mind control experiments, or he's had his mind controlled in the past, and perhaps his erratic behavior in public is either an example of this, or an example of him breaking free of the mind control and finally getting control of his mind back, with this theory being supported by several social media clips of Kanye speaking publicly.
I just want to talk about mind control. You know, when people try to influence you through social media and try to tell you what to do, or if you post something that's like positive on Instagram and it gets taken down, if it's not a part of a bigger agenda, you know, that's like mind control. That's the echo chamber that's trying to control you based off of incentivizing you and based off of you getting enough likes. And that's the poison that's happening with social media. And, you know, for me, you know, I just got back my IQ scores and they were Mensa level, 133, 98 percentile, like straight up Sigmund Freud, Tesla vibes.
Straight up Sigmund Freud, Tesla vibe.
To tell me what to do, I feel like they're touching my brain. Like, for a woman, she doesn't want nobody to, she wants to be in control of her body and choose who she wants to give it to. And no one can come up and touch it or take it or tell her what to do with it. It's up to her what she does with it. So I feel like that with my mind.
Well, look, we could listen to Kanye talk nonsense endlessly, but you get the idea. And next up in the conspiracy iceberg, it's the Bizzy Bone possession tape. Now, Bizzy Bone is a rapper and the youngest member of the rap group Bone Thugs and Harmony. A video has been circulating that many have said online seems to show Bizzy Bone possessed or in the grips of some kind of supernatural possession, which we'll take a look at now.
You know what I mean? That gotta come from the heart, man. If it don't come from the heart, I don't even want to hear it, man. Oh, man, bootleg it or something. I ain't trying to hear none of that, man. Keep it real. It don't even come near me. Don't come around me. Don't buy nothing. It don't matter to me. That's how I get down. It's real. When I see you, you already know how I feel about you, and I'm gonna see you regardless.
See who?
Everybody we're talking to.
Everybody, man.
Yeah, because, you know, we're not just talking to each other. We're talking to a lot of people around the radius.
So Bizzy Bone's erratic behavior in this interview has been suggested by many as him being possessed by some sort of demon, though I would probably wager that he is most likely possessed by some sort of crystal meth. Next up is Rap.mp3, a suggestedly haunted MP3 audio file that has floated around the internet and hip-hoposphere for many years. Now, there's actually a Reddit thread related to this hip-hop conspiracy iceberg, with people asking what the hell Rap.mp3 offered in the comments. The first theory is that a missing kid's phone was found and it only had one audio file on it, which was rap.mp3, and the track apparently had secret codes, subliminal messages, or maybe induces suicide to anybody who listens to it. The second theory is that rap.mp3 is a 13-second audio file which all rappers use subliminally on their albums to manipulate the listeners. And the third theory suggests that there's actually 8 songs by 8 different bands, with each song narrating directly or indirectly the murders committed by each of the members of each band. The negative energy caused by these murders was found within each of the songs. Now, this is actually a theory that we're going to get into later on, but the idea of the Memphis rap sigils actually refers to a handful of kind of haunted or eerie projects that were put out by hip-hop artists in Memphis, and I would wager that rap.mp3 perhaps is a digitized reference to some of those earlier haunted Memphis rap songs. Next up, we have a classic rap conspiracy, which is the curse of the bass god. If you don't know, the bass god refers to legendary bass rapper Lil B, the game-changing Bay Area rapper whose style is focused on positivity and being yourself, as opposed to negativity, gang-banging, drug use, all that whack stuff. But it's not all positivity from Lil B, because Lil B was famously known for putting curses and hexes on people that he didn't like, specifically athletes competing against his favorite teams, including Kevin Durant, who Lil B famously put a curse on, with Lil B's tweets seemingly confirming that the curse had indeed been a success, blocking Kevin Durant from going to the finals. Apparently, Kevin Durant had earlier tweeted about Lil B's music, saying it was unlistenable. After being called out by KD on Twitter, apparently Lil B challenged Durant to a one-on-one game of basketball, an idea that was entertained for a while, but ultimately ended up fizzling out, leading Lil B to take drastic action, with Lil B announcing on Twitter that because KD had said that Lil B was a whack rapper, he had officially put the bass god's curse on Kevin Durant. Since this incident, Lil B has actually gone on to curse other athletes, including James Harden. The bass god's curse on Kevin Durant lasted for years, with Lil B even taking to ESPN in person and in a dress to discuss his curse dishing out behavior.
So we're going to play a little game called Cursed or Not Cursed, and we've got 4 NBA players who have crossed you in the past, and you'll tell us if they're currently under a curse.
You're not playing that. That just happened.
This is really all right. So when Kevin Durant called you trash in 2011, you tweeted, "Kevin Durant will never win the title after he said Lil B's a whack rapper." The bass god's curse on Durant.
Oh boy.
Is KD still under a curse?
Oh yeah, KD's curse is active. He's still cursed until he plays me in the game. He has to play me in the game of 21. That's the only way the curse can be lifted.
And
Okay.
did you make the stipulation after the curse to lift it, or is this the reason there is a curse?
That's the reason there is a curse, because Kevin Durant actually agreed to play me in the game of 21. During the season, he went back on his word, and that's when the base guy was like, you know what, curse him.
6ix9ine is an FBI informant. Now look, we all know that 6ix9ine snitched on the Treyway Bloods, the 9 Trey Bloods from New York, become a member of pretty much for fun as part of his insane run to the top. But what not a lot of people know is that there is a crazy conspiracy theory floating around the internet that 6ix9ine had been an informant for the FBI the entire time. Dating back to 2017, theory goes that 6ix9ine was sent in undercover to infiltrate and take down the 9 Trey gangster Bloods, I assume by the hip-hop police. Several rappers and other people have gone on to suggest that 6ix9ine was indeed an informant the whole way through and was probably snitching the whole time. Meanwhile, other YouTube videos exist on the topic, making the suggestion that 6ix9ine was a rat all the way through. This includes Nick Cannon, who also has put it out there that 6ix9ine was most...
I'm gonna go make some food real quick. Be right back. I'm back. Sorry about that. Went to go start some food up. Eat that egg.
Most likely an FBI informant from the very start back in 2017. The Rockefeller body count. Now, this one I couldn't find too much on, but essentially my assumption is that the Rockefeller body count is kind of a little bit similar to the Clinton body count, but for Jay-Z and Dash. So the Clinton body count is a conspiracy theory that Bill and Hillary Clinton had numerous people suspiciously whacked and murdered during their reigns as president and first lady respectively. This suggests that Bill and Hillary have assassinated as many as 50 people or more. Now, I couldn't actually find any solid evidence or proof about any supposed Rockefeller body count, but there are several different theories linking the Rockefeller empire to crime or the shady criminal underworld. Rockefeller co-founder Kareem Biggs Burke ended up being indicted as part of a weed conspiracy theory, where he was charged as part of a conspiracy to traffic apparently thousands of kilos of marijuana around the United States. Furthermore, we know that Jay-Z shot his brother when he was 12, so he is no stranger to getting busy with those Glocks. And of course, who could forget Kanye West's crazed on-stage rant where he told the entire world that Jay-Z has killers on deck.
I've been sent here to give y'all the truth. Jay-Z called me, bro. You still ain't called me. Jay-Z called me. Hey, bro. Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them out my head. Just call me. Talk to me like a man.
Next conspiracy theory is the Rothschild record label. At first glance, you might think that this is some kind of Illuminati-focused record label created by the secretive Rothschild family, who we all know low-key control the global banking markets or some sort of bullshit. The Rothschild...
Don't even think about asking for shit. The answer's no.
But the reality of the Rothschild record label isn't that they're secretly pulling the strings of the record industry like the secret Illuminati family you would think they are, but the reality of the Rothschild record label is in fact much less glamorous. This is in fact a record label started by one of the young heiresses of the Rothschild fortune, Kate Rothschild, a story which we're going to elaborate on later on in this iceberg video, but essentially all signs point to Kate Rothschild setting up this record label so she can have a frisky romp with woke American rapper Jay Electronica, and I assume business expense the whole fiasco. And in the end, it seemed like the Rothschild record label was indeed a gigantic L after the relationship between Kate Rothschild and Jay Electronica ultimately fell apart, as too it seems did the record label, which still in September of 2014 apparently owed over £365,000. Next up, the Kodak Black clone. Now, recently, since being released from prison by Donald Trump, much like many other rappers before him that are released out of jail and have to face cloning rumors, Kodak Black was no different. The rumors apparently started after Kodak was released from jail following his presidential pardon, with many people noticing that he was significantly skinnier and rocking longer hair than when he went in jail. And obviously, the first thing that comes to mind when somebody who's been in prison for a couple of years has longer hair and is skinnier is of course conspiracy theory and cloning. Eventually, tired with all of the cloning accusations, Kodak would eventually take to Instagram to respond to the allegations and deny being a clone.
Why this don't sound like Kodak? What the hell? So who I sound like? All this little clone shit starting to make me mad now. You know what I'm saying? See, back then, all my other little bids, whenever this little clone shit, I wasn't really tripping on it, but now y'all blowing me now. How the fuck it can't be them other? A nigga can't motherfucking duplicate this shit. All kind of niggas be trying to imitate this shit, but they can't duplicate this shit. These fuck niggas ain't seen yet.
Next conspiracy theory is that Your Old Droog is Nas. So Your Old Droog is a rapper from Brooklyn who first started popping off around 2014, releasing a debut EP that got a lot of attention because of the way his voice sounded. In fact, Your Old Droog sounded so much like Nas that Reddit threads started popping up saying that Your Old Droog was Nas, or that this was some kind of new alter ego for Nas to be rapping under. This of course turned out not to be true, and eventually things would come full circle when Nas would respond to the Your Old Droog rumors himself. Apparently Nas was confronted in an MTV interview being asked about a secret Nas album, to which Nas replied, "What do you mean a secret Nas album? I have no idea what you're talking about." To which they replied, "Just for the record, I had to ask you, Nas, so you didn't put out a secret EP?" To which he replied, "Who, me? I don't even know what that means. No secret EPs. I don't want a secret EP. I want you to know it's me when I drop." And over time, it seems that fans have abandoned the absurd idea that Nas is Your Old Droog, as well as Your Old Droog himself. Next conspiracy theory is that Gucci Mane died in jail. yes, when Gucci Mane was in jail quite some time ago, around 2014, an internet hoax began to circulate suggesting that Gucci Mane died of heart failure while still in prison. This said a report was made that the rapper was found dead in his cell, with doctors suspecting that it was heart failure, while other reports suggested it was a drug overdose due to extensive scissor use. This, of course, naturally turned out to be completely untrue, but that didn't stop fans and stans from pushing the equally absurd conspiracy theory after he was released that Gucci Mane had indeed died in jail, and that the Gucci that was released from prison was a government-sponsored clone. Now, the next conspiracy theory is the industry. Now, this is quite a broad term for a conspiracy theory, and it refers to a few different things. Firstly, there's the idea of the industry, the kind of shady, Illuminati-style group of people that kind of run the music and hip-hop industry. They kind of control things, they control artists, they control record labels, the money, the clout, the social media. The industry basically just controls everything. But if you want to get more specific and drill deeper into this theory, this also kind of relates to the earlier theory that we mentioned of gangster rap prisons. This, of course, being the conspiracy theory that the record industry, or the rap music record recording industry, actually joined forces with the American prison industries in an effort to push gangster rap, music that glamorizes being a criminal, in order to increase the amounts of people that were being sent to prison in America, thus earning profit for the industry. Now, this whole topic was covered in an NPR documentary, which I'll be honest, haven't had time to listen to, but it seems like it's probably worth listening to. But also, just in general, you can refer to the industry as the kind of shady music industry higher-ups that seem industry for not treating him right, not pushing him the way he feels he deserves to be pushed, and essentially suggesting that the rap industry is a conspiracy against him. Sounds like the ravings of a lunatic if you ask me, but that doesn't mean that there aren't still shady things going on in the industry. Next up, it's the Mac Miller blood sacrifice. A sad and slightly annoying theory that, of course, the passing of beloved white rapper Mac Miller was somehow done on purpose as part of some sort of blood sacrifice, as often seems to be suggested by conspiratorial-minded people after the tragic passing of a young rapper. So here's a Facebook post that was actually reposted to Reddit saying that Mac Miller died at the young age of 26. He's about my age. I'm 27. They say it was a drug overdose. I think it's not. Something is up. Maybe a blood sacrifice, but I hope not. And then this guy's commented, I'm 27 too. I think they like to kill you at 27 because 27 is 9 plus 9 plus 9, which here in the UK is a number you dial up for emergency. And of course, upside down, it's 666. So these assholes just like number play. Mass is as close to God they'll ever get. They try to be God. I mean, he was 26, not 27, but whatever. And another Reddit post suggests Mac Miller yet another Illuminati sacrifice, offering evidence for the Illuminati being responsible for Mac Miller's death, saying that in his last music video in the song Self-Care, he was in a coffin. He carved into the coffin Memento Mori, which translates to Remember You Must Die. In Tupac's last music video, I Ain't Mad, he gets shot to death. In XXXTentacion's last music video, he's at his own funeral and he's talking to a demon. In Biggie's last album, it's called Life After Death, and the cover is him standing next to a curse. Do you believe in coincidences? I believe in fucking idiots, and that's what you are for suggesting this. Next up, it's the Haitian Jack mass shooting theory. Now, I couldn't find the exact info for the specific theory or a specific mass shooting that Haitian Jack supposedly carried out, but I'll give you some background and I think it will probably make sense. So Haitian Jack was a guy called Jacques Agnant, a record producer and promoter who had involvement with both Tupac and Biggie during the period that their rivalry was going on. He'd been a drug dealer and a club promoter, and some people have gone on to suggest that he was even an FBI informant. He became friends with Tupac Shakur, and Tupac actually even accused this guy, Haitian Jack, of orchestrating the robbery at Quad Studios where Tupac was hit, leaving him in the hospital, but fortunately still alive. Now, he was actually convicted of a shooting at a nightclub in 2004, which led to prison time, and he ended up getting deported to Haiti in 2007. Now, Haitian Jack elaborated on this in a Hip Hop Wired article, being asked, what did you get booked for in 2004? And him saying, I shot this dude out in LA at a club in Melrose. With him saying, that's true, it's what I do, man, that's what I came up in. Going on to say one thing led to another, and I found out that what they respect and fear is pain and death. So it's unclear exactly which shooting the iceberg is referring to. The Haitian Jack mass shooting, it could refer to him being responsible for the shooting that ended up hitting Tupac back in '94. It could be referring to the nightclub shootout that he had in 2004 that led him to be deported to Haiti, or it could refer to any number of other shootings that he was involved in, since he said himself that he was in the business of fear and death, and there are other articles that suggest that he has been in shootouts with numerous other people. Next conspiracy is that ODB, the Old Dirty Bastard from stalked used in different ways. It's been suggested by some sites that gang stalking basically refers to just a whole bunch of people ganging up on, stalking, exposing, and harassing a person. This could be the public, this could be the media, or this could be the police and the FBI, who we already know were running a lot of surveillance on the Wu-Tang Clan and ODB specifically, but also, as this Kanye to the forum post suggests, the gang stalking could also refer to ODB suffering from schizophrenia and him perhaps even falsely believing that he was being gang stalked or harassed by some sort of entities that maybe weren't there, with another commenter suggesting that he watched the You God interview with DJ Vlad detailing ODB's mental illness, saying it was unclear whether ODB was actually being followed by people or just delusionally believed that he was. Eventually, those FBI files on the ODB and Wu-Tang Clan were released, with the suggestion that there was a 93-page file on ODB himself, and suggesting that before he died, ODB had been arrested a whopping 15 times, from charges ranging from resisting arrest to injuring a child, as well as assault and the attempted murder of a police officer. They connected him to the Blood Gang and at least 2 murders, as well as describing an occasion that ODB was robbed at gunpoint in his own home. So whatever way you look at it, perhaps justifiably, ODB was indeed being followed very closely by the feds while he was alive, perhaps was too being stalked by his own demons.
Wow.
Before he passed, he used to always say they trying to kill me. The Illuminati is real. That shit was real. It was real. Yo, what they did to my cousin, he was like, my cousin was too real.
Now the final conspiracy theory of the tip, pause, is Eminem's ESPN glitch, which refers to an incident where Eminem appeared as a guest on ESPN.
Yeah, I had to do some business. Oh, I got a huge. Yay! Yeah, I had to do some business. Oh yeah, hold on. I gotta turn this up entirely anyway.
For Eminem being some sort of cyborg or clone under the effects of mind control. I don't know, none of it's true, but here's the clip.
Marshall Mathers. Some of you may know him as Eminem, but he's going to join the Saturday night crew with our music intro starting next Saturday night. But folks, I want to take you to the world premiere of one of his new videos called Berserk. Take a listen. It's headed for the top of the charts. Rick Rubin, who was helping produce that with you, Marshall, when you did that?
Yeah, sorry. Live TV. Live TV freaks me out a little bit.
No.
Yes, I'm sorry. What was the question?
So naturally, this has contributed to further theories that Eminem has indeed been cloned, with this being supported by other evidence, including a 2013 incident with Zane Lowe, where Eminem appeared to glitch out once again.
Music is always going to be in my head, so along with myself that's trapped in it.
We're all trapped in your head. It's a byproduct of the records.
Oh, you meant everyone's trapped in my head.
No, I actually did.
You said,
no, but I actually did mean everyone's trapped in their own head, and then I just amended it at the end.
Oh, that's good.
I'm trapped in my head.
It would have been way better if you would have at the front, like, said that everyone's trapped.
Every accusation that a rapper got cloned is just retarded. Every single one is just retarded.
Trapped in my head.
Right.
I've been seeing rap conspiracies since I was young. I remember when what is it? When Lil Wayne or Big Sean, whichever one, released a song called My Homie Still. Matter of fact, yeah, 2012, E! News. Takes place in a weird suburbia. Lil Wayne and his gang are transported to a movie theater where they dance, sing, and throw popcorn. So basically, there were 12 skeletons, and after this video came out, or after this happened, there was it was the Dark Knight shooting that killed 12 people. So everybody was saying, see? Told y'all. Shit's some of the most retarded fucking shit ever. But it's funny because it's like, who the fuck genuinely believes this? Like, who legitimately can sit here and be like, yeah, I believe that?
I probably would have liked that better.
I'm trapped in this room.
You just like, what? Actually, no, seriously, don't get trapped in my
your
head.
head.
Yeah, I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
You should address the camera because right now there's a lot of people probably
Stay out of my head.
Alright. Chapter 3.
Okay, gang, so now we are moving below the surface. Things are getting deep, things are getting a little darker, and we're about to see some crazy, perhaps even slightly nonsensical conspiracies begin to pop up. So first off, we have a recurring segment in this piece. It's the Memphis Rap Sigil. So this is the idea that there is a bunch of old rap tapes floating around the Memphis rap scene that are actually haunted. This ad-laden article from the AV Club explains these Memphis rap tapes aren't actually haunted, but they are awesome. Stop us if you've heard this one before, but the Bass Pro Shop in downtown Memphis is actually an occult monument to Freemasonry or the Egyptian sun god Ra. Or, listen, nobody seems to know what this is really a monument to exactly, but whatever it is, it's evil. So this article kind of goes into detail on a lot of Memphis rap figures, projects that have been kind of satanic over the years, of course mentioning the 3-6 Mafia, how when they started out they flirted.
Dog. Early 2010s rap conspiracies were so fucking funny. Like, they always killed me because every single video, they would take a rap video, right? A rapper's latest song. They'd play it in reverse and be like, look, she's satanic. She's satanic, look. I also remember when Nicki Minaj first started as an artist, everybody said that Nicki Minaj was Jay-Z, but with a higher pitched voice. Which was funny because she does sound like Jay-Z whenever you lower her voice, but that's just because they're both from New York.
With horror.
And I remember one of the big ones was whenever what's his name? When Kanye West dropped what I would say is the top 5 song from him, Mercy. Song that goes Lamborghini Mercy, yo chick, she's so thirsty. And that whatever, in the beginning you hear a woman say, is the gritting and the gnawing and the gnashing of the teeth, is the gritting and the gnawing and the gnashing of the teeth. Apparently there's shit in the Bible that whenever they refer to that, it's talking about the devil. So everybody said that Kanye's a Satan.
Imagery and went to an explicitly occult place.
But yeah, speaking about Memphis, a lot of Memphis rap is just demonic or have certain traits of Satanism in it. But it's good, so who cares?
Apparently kicking off a trend of haunted hip-hop that would reverberate through the city of Memphis for the rest of the decade. And it mentions other examples such as Take the Serial Killer's Portrait of a Serial Killer by Infamous and DJ Paul in 1992, going on to say that this hip-hop horrorcore became a trend in Memphis from the early 90s up to the early noughties, naming a bunch of other artists that apparently had their heyday during this horrorcore period, including Tommy Wright III, DJ Zerk, Al Capone, and Children of the Corn. All of them use Satan and the devil as metaphors for depression, anxiety, and the stress of life in the city. Over the time, the internet gained an obsession with these spooky horror raps coming out of Memphis, and with the help of 4chan around 2017, the conspiracy theory of the Memphis Rap Sigils took hold, with a 4chan user posting the following. Memphis Rap Sigils refers to the worship of 8 tracks that had mysterious properties imbued in them via horrorcore Memphis hip-hop, such as My Copy worthy of N-words of destruction. Now, the AV Club article goes on to talk about these mysterious properties, saying the details of those mysterious properties are vague and only help the theory grow in several bizarre directions. The wildest theory postulates that these sigils are coded messages signaling the location of the Nephilim, gigantic demigods from the ancient pre-Christian past that the US military is hiding in underground bases in the deep Appalachian Mountains. This all ties in with flat earthism somehow. The remaining conspiracy theories tied to Memphis rap are all garden variety occult stuff revolving around the cassette tapes themselves as sigils, magical symbols used in ceremonial magic to call upon a particular supernatural entity. Traditionally, sigils take the form of seals, but all kinds of creative projects can be viewed as sigils. A user on 4chan summed up the general idea thusly in October 2017, saying basically if you believe in the Luciferian idea that it's possible to take a life and manifest that energy into something that becomes real in a sort of ritual, there would be some kind of medium between the spirit world and the world we know to be true. The life energy, death energy, the demon, the magnetic taping in a cassette. Now, of course, none of this is true, and the article goes on to say that the Memphis rap sigils are the online manifestation of the base human tendency to take something unfamiliar and frame it in supernatural terms. Even on 4chan, most know Memphis horrorcore is just scary fun, like the poster who wrote in May 2018. None of them are actually into it. They just like the aesthetic. I'm exactly the same way myself, not saying it's a bad thing, but none of these dudes are actually out there worshipping Satan, it's just a look. And look, if you were a Memphis rapper and you wanted to build a whole bunch of folklore and backstory around your music by just throwing in a bunch of horror or haunted aesthetics into the cover art and into some of the lyrics to get yourself a little bit of long-term underground clout, hell, mission accomplished. Because it seems like these occult references are probably the only thing keeping these old Memphis rap tapes relevant. Next up, we have the Lil Peep subversion conspiracy theory. This is the suggestion that emo rapper Lil Peep, who unfortunately passed away from a drug overdose, was somehow murdered or sacrificed, with one blog post even going as far as to say that the death of Lil Peep wasn't an accidental overdose, but was in fact part of a carefully orchestrated plot by the alt-right. This article goes on to make a bunch of convoluted
Oh, my food's finished. Hold on, I'll be right back.
theories about how Lil Peep kind of got into Marxism, communism, and was positioning himself to be a future revolutionary. And I've got to chuckle a little bit as I say this, like Russell Brand. Now this...
Hold on. Ah.
This piece basically goes on to suggest that Lil Peep was so influential amongst his young, impressionable fans, and that his voice was getting so big in music, the conspiracy theory goes that the alt-right had to have Lil Peep murdered before he would turn radical and radicalize the next generation of lefty, communist, socialist, Karl Marx loving, I don't know, it's a load of bollocks, but you get the theory. The article even compares the tragic passing of Lil Peep to the takedown of far-right provocateur and idiot Milo Yiannopoulos. Thankfully, the article does end by saying,
What? Pedophile? Milo Yiannopoulos? Is that what they talking about? The pedophile?
it was the author's intent to be read as humour or satire in order to mock the various alt-right outlets that spread conspiracy theories as absurd as this. Agreed, it's absurd, but it's interesting enough to take its place on the hip-hop conspiracy theory iceberg. Now, circling back to the prison hip-hop industrial complex, we have the next conspiracy theory, which is the meeting. This is, of course, referring to that clandestine meeting between
What up, Steady Eddie? I thought with the username.
Executives of the music and hip-hop industry and the heads of the American prison industries, with the suggestion that it was at this secret meeting that a deal was struck to make hip-hop music more violent, to encourage young people to commit crimes and get sent to jail so that these two groups could profit. Now, there's an excellent article breaking this down which is called The Secret Meeting That Changed Rap Music and Destroyed a Generation, where a supposed insider who was at this meeting goes into detail on what went down there. Between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the more established companies in the music industry. In early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small group of music business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction. Little did I know, we would be asked to participate in one of the most unethical and destructive business practice I've ever seen. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of LA. I remember there being 25 to 30 people there, mostly familiar faces. Many of us did not care for rap music and failed to see the purpose of being invited to a private gathering to discuss its future. We were asked to sign a confidentiality agreement preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented. Somebody addressed the group explaining that the companies they work for had invested millions into the buildings of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. The more inmates, the more money the government would pay these prisons. And because most of these prisons are privately owned, they became publicly traded and we would be able to buy shares. He told us that our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, and it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons were filled. Our job would be to make this happen by marketing music which promotes criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. Now, apparently a gun was pulled at this meeting and many people left once they realized what was being discussed, but of course they had signed a contract saying that they couldn't disclose the details of the meeting to anybody. Anyway, the writer says as the months passed, rap music definitely changed direction. I could tell the difference. Gangster rap was dominating the airwaves. Violence and drug use became a central theme in most rap music. So that's the supposed meeting between the prison industry and the rap industry. Obviously that's cap, but interestingly that wouldn't be the only theory suggesting that the music industry had teamed up with another big industry to the detriment of their artists and listeners, but we'll get to that later. Next conspiracy theory is that Proof died for Eminem. Now this is a reference to the rapper in Eminem's group D12 called Proof, who was tragically gunned down after a fight at a bar. I actually did an entire video on that, so if you want the full and true story of what happened to Proof, go and check that out. But for this conspiracy, we can go and look at a blog on Tumblr called Media Exposed, a site which comes with an encouraging banner saying the Illuminati is real and it's everywhere, and the title Eminem's Blood Sacrifice and Fame Afterwards. This says in 2004, Eminem predicted his best friend Proof getting shot outside of a club in his music video Like Toy Soldiers. Proof also knew he was going to be sacrificed. This was no coincidence, it was a planned event. Proof died on the 11th of April 2000.
Proof? He was a rapper. I'm pretty sure. He was in D12. I know that. Rapper Proof. I'm trying to think of what the other part is he was in. Oh no, he was in D12. He's basically like Eminem's early fucking hype man.
2006, Eminem took time off after Proof's death. The elite let him. About 3 years, and then in 2009 he re-emerged with his album Relapse. So it mentions that the Relapse album has several lyrics where Eminem's talking about selling his soul, talking about praying to Satan, blah, blah, blah. Now look, I'll be honest, this article is a load of garbage, and it just goes on to point out basically any time that Eminem has ever referenced the devil or Satan, and he's basically just saying that he's like a Satanist, some sort of Satan worshipper, and that he sacrificed proof, ironically giving very little proof. There's a whole bunch of Eminem throwing up triangles, Eminem doing the devil horns on his head. Not very compelling, not the most entertaining conspiracy theory of all. Next up is the Death Row serial killings. Now this is the conspiracy theory that Death Row Records and Suge Knight, who were famous in the 90s for their work with the likes of Tupac and Snoop Dogg, this is the suggestion that Suge and Death Row were serial killers or involved with numerous killings. Now this one was kind of tricky. I couldn't find too many specific examples beyond the obvious ones about people Death Row had supposedly had killed. But of course there are the obvious suggestions that Notorious B.I.G. was murdered by a hitman that was hired by Suge Knight. There's also been conspiracies that Tupac was actually killed by Suge Knight himself because Tupac was actually planning to leave Death Row Records. And then of course there's the fact that Suge Knight is literally sat in jail now for running a guy over outside the Straight Outta Compton film set. The next conspiracy theory is the idea that mumble rap is brainwashing. Now mumble rap obviously refers to that kind of modern day brand of rap. Your Futures, your Little Yachties, your heavily auto-tuned that you can't really understand what people are actually saying, and the conspiracy theory goes that this type of modern day kind of brain dead mumble rap is actually brainwashing the youth. Now this stems from a Reddit post titled "Mumble Rap
It's from a Reddit post. Who fucking cares?
is brainwashing," according to George
What?
Orwell, which says in 1984, George Orwell alluded.
Rap pisses you off? That sucks, because dope. Actually, pretty good. No, the fuck it's not. See, that's why I'm not taking your opinion at all seriously. Drill is the worst fucking rap. I think, personally, drill is worse than people like Tom McDonald. Like, unironically. Absolutely, I will never take your opinion seriously about rap ever again. Fuck.
The concept of linguistic minimalism, which simply put is reducing the amount of words present in the public conscious. Mumble rap is controlled and is being made popular solely for the purpose of further dumbing down society. It's not just bad for hip-hop music, but it's a signpost clearly demarcating that we are speedily nearing rock bottom regarding culture, intellect, and mortality. If you listen to mumble rap, I genuinely feel sorry for you. Please stop now.
This is on the conspiracy iceberg, and this bitch only got... Classic rap is better? Nah. The beats to old rap is not... They had terrible beats, I'm sorry. That's my biggest issue with older rap, is that the beats were dog shit. Beats were better. Like I said, especially like... Obviously, I got respect for them. People I like to listen to wouldn't be in the position to be able to rap the way they do if it weren't for those people. But, like I said, the beats, I just don't like. But obviously, who cares about my opinion? I'm just a random white guy on the internet. People don't go to me for my opinion on rap. I also will say, anybody that says that Biggie is the best rapper ever, they're lying. Ah, here we go. We got a third one to the list. Where the fuck is it? Retards that ask for shit on stream. 3. Edward Rista 78. Congrats, my boy. Anyway.
Go read a book, listen to some music from a previous era.
Also, the reason I don't like older rap either is just the simple fact that people that only listen to it act like it's like the only type of rap you can listen to. Like, they won't even consider anybody else being better. But like I said, I don't care about who's the best rapper. I care about who's the best artist. And for me, older artists are not that person. Individuals, even in general.
Or learn another language, or learn how to paint, or anything else that is even remotely intellectually stimulating. Please make haste in doing so before your mind turns to mush and you end up being a mentally deficient, unintelligible, and perfectly controlled and brainwashed slave of your elitist masters, which incessantly force-feed you a never-ending stream of utter trash, I assume without any full stops. I think whoever wrote that post needs to have their brain washed with soap. Next conspiracy, this one is a little bit spicy, people. The Donda West murder.
Ooh, wait. This one might have some truth to it, too.
Donda West, of course, being Kanye West's mother, who tragically passed away in 2007 from complications following surgery. Now, there are details about this story that not a lot of people know, and the fact is, Donda West didn't die on the operating table like some people think. She had actually been discharged from the hospital following surgery and spent a day at home where she passed away. She was actually under the care of Kanye West's cousin at the time, who had apparently left her going out to attend a baby shower. The feud about who is really responsible for Kanye's mother's death has never been fully resolved, and a lack of solid info about what went down, as well as tense public back and forths with the surgeon who performed Donda West's surgery, has led several conspiracy theorists to hold on to the idea that she was somehow murdered, or at least her death was caused by some sort of negligence.
The physician says he wanted Donda to recover from the surgery at a medical facility, but he claims she insisted that her nephew, Stephen Scoggins, a nurse with a PhD in public health, care for her at her home.
What's Donda West's problem? Her nurse wasn't there. Her nurse was gone to a baby shower rather than taking care of his aunt.
So, Donda West's surgeon has spoken out suggesting that Kanye's cousin bears some responsibility for her death due to the insufficient aftercare that was provided. He's even gone on to call out Kanye publicly in the media, saying if he had any balls, he would speak out on the truth over what happened to Donda West. And hell, to make this story even weirder, in 2018 it was originally reported that Kanye was going to put the surgeon who had worked on his mother before she passed away a photo of his face as his album artwork, which Kanye said was part of his healing process, ultimately leading into him being served a cease and desist by the surgeon. Crazy. The next conspiracy theory on the Berg is that all rap beefs are fake. This is basically the kind of general idea that all rap beefs are completely fabricated and fake, and that the rap game is basically like WWE, an entire choreographed soap opera with all of the beefs going on between rival rappers taking place quite literally for clout and money. Here's a Quora post where somebody's asking, is rap similar to professional wrestling in the sense that we all know it's fake? Somebody replies commenting, rap videos are fake just like rock videos and country videos. Rap lyrics are often fictional just like other genres. Rap artist images are often constructed just like other genres. There are some rappers who present a relatively authentic image and whose lyrics reflect their actual experiences, but the WWE is always fictional. So there you have it. You know, you've got people like Pooh Shiesty that seem to be really about what they rap about, but generally, as a whole, as a baseline, I would say a lot of what rappers say is fictional, but whether or not all rap beefs are fictional, we know that ain't true. Tupac lives with the Navajos. Now this fits in, this is kind of an expansion pack on the earlier theory that Tupac is still alive, with one specific theory stating that Tupac is alive and well and currently residing with Navajo Indians, apparently. Or Native Americans, I don't think you're supposed to say Indians. Navajo Native Americans, I don't know. Sorry. So this theory is actually being purported by a filmmaker called Rick Boss, who made a very low budget budget film alleging to depict the true story of how Tupac escaped from the hospital after being shot, catching a helicopter ride, and seeking refuge amongst the Navajo in New Mexico, where he's been living ever since.
But local filmmaker Rick Boss has an alternate ending.
This movie is about Tupac actually escaping from the University Medical Center here in Vegas and relocating to New Mexico, getting protection from the Navajo tribe. When certain FBI agencies are looking for you, the first thing they're gonna do is block the airport so you can't travel out. So the best way to escape is through helicopter, private helicopter, to another state.
FBI agents can't go onto tribal land without the tribal council's permission. Boss says that's why Navajo land in New Mexico made for the perfect hideout. And while many may dismiss the premise as fiction, Boss says the information for the script came from people in Tupac's family and circle.
Nipsey Hussle was killed by the Illuminati, another classic hip-hop conspiracy theory. This has been covered in a BuzzFeed news article titled "Nipsey Hussle's Death Has Become the Subject of a Baseless Conspiracy Theory." Despite the police statements and without citing any evidence, people online have been linking Nipsey Hussle's death to a documentary he said he was producing about Alfredo Bowman, known as a healer for celebrities.
That shit always happens too. Most of the time whenever somebody is being, like a rapper gets killed or something, they immediately go to, he was just about to expose everything and they killed him. He really was about to tell the truth about everything, but they killed him. It's like they didn't.
Going by the name Dr. Sebi, who does not hold any doctoral qualifications. After Nipsey's death, Bowman's name trended on Twitter, and a search for his name in Google brings up a video claiming Hussle was killed because of the documentary he was creating about Dr. Sebi. Now, Dr. Sebi was a healer, a herbalist, and a quack who claimed to be able to cure AIDS and cancer using a miracle cure that he'd created called African Bioelectric Cell Food Therapy, claiming he could cure cancer, asthma, heart problems, arthritis, and mental health issues. Now, Dr. Sebi was actually arrested by Honduran authorities in 2016 at an airport after he was caught with $37,000 in cash that he couldn't account for, eventually dying of pneumonia in police custody at age 82. Guess that was the one thing his miracle cure couldn't fix. Next conspiracy theory is the Malachi Z. York reincarnation. Now, this one is kind of long, complex, it's kind of grimy, I almost don't even want to get into it in this video. But basically, Malachi Z. York is an alternative name for a man called Dwight York, who was a cult leader between the 60s and the noughties. He started the United Nation of Nuwaubian Moors, a religion based on pseudo-Islamic themes and Judaism, mixed in with other ideas from black nationalism, cryptozoology, UFO religions, and just plain conspiracy theories. Now, in the 90s, he ended up leaving Brooklyn with around 300 followers, building his own cult compound called Tama Ray in Atlanta. However, in the early noughties, it emerged that his new religion, claiming to enlighten and empower his followers, was really just empowering him to diddle his followers' kids, with Dwight York eventually being indicted on federal charges of trafficking minors across state lines for the purposes of diddling. With
No. Like white supremacists, they're black supremacists.
York being subjected to the United States' largest prosecution for child... You know, this guy's a real scumbag, basically, is what I'm trying to say to you. I half don't even understand why this guy and his story is even on the rap conspiracy iceberg, but anyway, I don't really understand what the conspiracy theory about him being reincarnated is. I know that he had a son that was kind of out in these streets doing other stuff, maybe that's the supposed reincarnation, but the relationship between Dr. Malachi Z. York and hip-hop does exist, with people like Prodigy of Mobb Deep having spoken extensively about his teachings and suggesting publicly that he indulged in some of these readings.
What woke you up to the New World Order, these globalist elites and eugenicists?
The main thing that woke me up to it was a writer named Dr. York, a spiritual teacher from Brooklyn. He had a whole community over in Bushwick, on Bushwick Avenue, called the Answer Allah.
A whole community of people who he was diddling, baby. Prodigy, R.I.P., you should have sharpened up. This guy's an idiot. Anyway, the next conspiracy theory is Erykah Badu's passion fruit. And by passion fruit, they mean Poontang, because this is the theory that any rapper that got to have a little taste of Erykah Badu's juicy fruit went on to have an illustrious and successful career. With one tweet saying, according to rap conspiracies, Jay's in the Illuminati, M OD'd years ago, and now we've been seeing a clone. Pac faked his death. Erykah Badu's passion fruit makes rappers find themselves. Rakim wrote Summertime for Will Smith. Suge Knight injected Eazy-E with the AIDS virus. Yes, apparently Erykah Badu's passion fruit Poontang makes rappers find themselves and produce their best work. And there's an extended article from Global Grind titled Badu's Voodoo, Erykah Badu and the effect she has on rappers, Kendrick included. And this goes on in a fairly tasteful way to explain all of the rappers that have kind of hooked up with or been involved with Erykah Badu over the years, and explaining how their careers skyrocketed after that period. This includes Kendrick Lamar, Andre 3000, Common, the DOC, and Jay Electronica. Next is the Lil Bow Wow limo tapes. Now this relates to a long-held conspiracy theory that Lil Bow Wow was, how can I put this, taken advantage of by his bodyguard in a limo many years ago. Now Snopes actually has a fact-check article on what they call the Lil Bow Wow rumor. Now this says, this rumor generally concludes with the news that Lil Bow Wow had to have a certain number of stitches to repair the damage done during the person that did it is either Lil Bow Wow's bodyguard or driver, with other reports coming out after this rumor begun to spread that the likes of Snoop Dogg had actually put out a hit on that limo driver. Now Snopes suggests that this is complete cap, as does Lil Bow Wow, who responded to these allegations in a Vlad TV interview, a response which many in the comments thought was a little nervous and maybe a bit suspicious.
There's been the crazy rumor that you got raped by your security guard.
That's fucking ridiculous. That's crazy.
You've heard that before.
Yeah, that was like the first rumor that like ever had came out. I'll never forget that shit. I was in Paris, France. I was in Paris coming back to the States, and I was going through the airport. I believe I was going to Philly, and people gonna say things. That's just a part of the game. You know what I mean? People have said the most craziest shit about people all the time. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't even know where that shit even started from. I don't even know where that bogus shit even came from.
Next up, the New Albion Nation of Moors. Now this relates to our old pal and kiddie diddler Dwight York, the cult leader who allegedly mixed Islam along with black supremacist ideas, the worship of Egyptians and their pyramids, a belief in UFOs and various conspiracy theories related to the Illuminati and the Bilderberg group, lumping that all together as New Albionism, which apparently wasn't theology but factology. But if you ask me, it's straight up capology, because this guy's an idiot, he's a diddler, and any rappers that support, follow, or condone this guy's views or this kind of freaky, dodgy way of moving about can suck a dick too. You tell him I told him that. And that's why this guy is serving 135 years in prison from... yeah, you get the deal. But while we're here, let's just throw in the fact there was apparently a group called the X-Clan. They were a Black Power movement rap group back in the 90s, and they featured Jacob York, who is actually the son of Malachi Z. York. Now, the final entry on the below the surface level of the rap conspiracy iceberg is Living in a Casket. Now, this is actually referring back to the Memphis rap sigils, and is another example of one of those creepy, haunted rap cassette tapes. Tapes that apparently still haunt the streets, speakers, and bargain bins of the Memphis rap community. Part 4, the middle of the iceberg, and we are getting to the real deep stuff, baby. We're drilling down deep into the rap conspiracy berg. We're getting oil, we're getting all whatever, man, it's good, we're getting there. Next conspiracy, Kanye is Ziggy Stardust. Now this is quite a simple one. This is the theory that Kanye West and David Bowie, aka his alter ego Ziggy Stardust, are one and the same person. This theory comes from the fact that the Ziggy Stardust album cover has David Bowie standing underneath a sign that says K West, you know, like Kanye West. This is a pretty compelling conspiracy theory if you're just going on this one picture here. This is described by this blog liveforlivemusic.com as a wild theory, suggesting that David Bowie with this cover art with K West emblazoned upon it somehow predicted the success of our boy Kanye West. It's also said that several of the album's songs also predict Kanye West's rise to fame, with it being suggested that David Bowie himself is Ziggy Stardust and Kanye West is the mythical Starman. Of course, this is just a coincidence. The K West is a well-known West London hotel, and Kanye definitely ain't the savior of humanity. Next one is that the Outlaws smoked Tupac's ashes. Now this is allegedly true. Tupac's crew of rapping homies called the Outlaws allegedly rolled Tupac's post-cremated ashes up in a blunt, as revealed in this iconic Vlad TV interview. The next conspiracy
which is funny because that's why the whole thing of the 2010s and now 2020s saying that people are smoking on somebody else. It started because of what is it? Chicago, where people on the O Block killed somebody on the other side, and so they said that they were smoking on Tuka to honor him, just like how Tupac's crew was. But then people on O Block turned around and was like, "Yeah, we smoking on him, yeah, for sure." So that's how it started.
Theory pretty hilarious that apparently Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide, predicted the Malaysia Airlines disaster, with all of this stemming from his 2012 track, Get It Started, where he says now it's off to Malaysia, 2 passports, 3 cities, 2 countries, 1 day. According to this Mirror article, viewers on YouTube are convinced that the 2 passports is a reference to the stolen Australian and Italian passports used by 2 Iranians to board MH370, and they also believe that the 3 cities refers to the capital cities of Malaysia, China, and Vietnam.
Watched the video on stream about the Malaysian airline thing. The captain killed them all.
And the 2 countries are Malaysia.
It was really fucking, like, learning about it was dope as fuck. Cause like, damn, he really, like, there wasn't a reason why he did it either. He just did it.
Asia and Vietnam. Furthermore, they assert the lyrics "No Ali, no Frazier," but now off to Malaysia. Apparently a reference to Mr. Ali, the man who bought the
What do you mean cannibalism?
tickets for the 2.
Oh. I guess so. But either way, I think that's still, like, it's dope. It sounds dope as fuck. And gnarly and rad.
2 Iranians to travel on board MH370. An absurd one, but entertaining nonetheless. HNIC2.com. Now this theory relates to the album by the late rapper Prodigy, HNIC2 or Head N-Word in Charge, Part 2. Now, this theory isn't about the album itself, but it's about the website HNIC2.com that Prodigy set up around the time of this album's release and promotion, but weirdly the website ended up being used to promote a lot more than Prodigy's music, more specifically his crackpot conspiracy theories. Now, we've already heard about his fascination of the teachings of cult leader and kiddie diddler Dwight York, so with that in mind, it's no surprise that the Prodigy's HNIC2.com ended up becoming not only a promotional hub for his music, but also many conspiracy theories and unusual writings referencing the likes of Dwight York, and many other subjects that are documented in this Fader article titled 7 Nuggets of Wisdom from Prodigy's Long-Lost Blogs and Letters, including calling people out for co-opting counterculture for profit, America's legacy of violence and racism, and weirdly, stabbing couches. In fact, this Medium article exists titled How Prodigy Changed Hip-Hop Forever by Stabbing a Couch, an article which documents some of the lengthy and rambling posts from HNIC2.com. Now, HNIC2.com is no longer online, but you can use the Wayback Machine to recover earlier saved versions of the website, which I've done here to illuminate some of the gems that were available on the site at the time, back in December 2007, including such gems as Fluoride Detection Part 2. Next conspiracy theory is the
Coke Zero.
Jerry Heller Hitman. Now this refers to Jerry Heller of Ruthless Records, who was in business with Eazy-E of NWA fame back in the late 80s. This theory goes that Eazy-E's manager Jerry Heller and Eazy-E at one point had planned to hire ex-Israeli Defense Force soldiers, partly as protection and partly to potentially carry out an assassination attempt on Suge Knight. With this Hip Hop DX article titled Eazy-E allegedly hired ex-Israeli soldier to deal with Suge Knight. With this article documenting an account by Jerry Heller's cousin, who said that Jerry and Eazy-E had indeed hired an ex-Israeli soldier to take out Suge Knight, saying the following: "The first time I ever saw Mike Klein, it was a picture of him holding up 2 severed heads. He was one of those crazy Israeli army guys, and when I met him, he had a real strong crew of guys who worked for him, and they became our bodyguards. Him and Eazy got to be real close because Eazy liked that Rambo mentality, and Klein was an expert at everything, whether it was karate, fighting, or anything. Once he threatened Suge, then everything was all over. The first thing I heard was he told Suge if he ever comes back, he would chop him up and put him in dumpsters all over the city. And the second thing I heard was he told Suge if he ever comes to the office uninvited again, he would leave in a box. In fact, there's another dimension to this theory that is available on a Reddit thread discussing a lawsuit that Hella had against the producers of Straight Outta Compton, with a commenter saying there's a crazy conspiracy theory that Jerry Heller killed Eazy-E. It sounds crazy, but the FBI were investigating threats against both Eazy and Tupac that made it sound plausible. Eazy went from being perfectly healthy to dying of AIDS in 3 months. This happened around the same time Eazy was apparently going to fire Hella, because Eazy discovered Hella was really ripping them off. A big reason they broke up was due to them thinking Hella was sleazy. This turned into a fight between Suge Knight and Dr. Dre versus Hella and Eazy-E. There's a bunch of different stories. Either Suge Knight kidnapped Eazy and tried to force him to sign Dre out of his contract, or he just went in on his own. Hard to say, either way it scared Hella, who hired ex-IDF bodyguards linked to the Jewish Defense League. Those are the same guys that the FBI was investigating for trying to extort Eazy-E and Tupac. Eazy's friends think Eazy was given a dirty needle, Suge Knight made allusions to it, and he didn't deny responsibility but also didn't take credit for it. Personally, that's not his MO. He's not an assassin. The guys that Hella hired though, those guys are trained assassins. And to make things even more crazy, apparently Jerry Heller even said in an On the Phone Vlad TV interview that he wished he'd have let Eazy-E take out Suge Knight.
We're the most successful startup record company in the history of the music business. And you want to kill this guy? I said, that just doesn't make any sense to me. And you know something? I should have let him kill him.
The Post Malone curse. Now this refers to a string of incidents where Post Malone's life was in pretty grave danger back in 2018. But the reason why Post Malone was suffering such bad luck has been the subject of terrifying conspiracy theories. So in August 2018, Post Malone's plane was forced to make an emergency landing after 2 of the plane's tires blew out during takeoff. This was a terrifying experience for Post Malone, and he said that when he landed, he was mortified to see people on social media pondering and wishing for his downfall. A month after that, TMZ reported that 3 robbers broke into a home that they believed belonged to Post Malone. Fortunately, Posty had moved out shortly before this incident, but had he not, he could have very easily been face to face with a trio of gun-toting robbers. And finally, also in September, Post Malone was involved in a serious car crash in Hollywood, with Posty being in the passenger seat when the Rolls Royce he was riding in hit another vehicle, and a fence ending up in the nearby bushes, with the car being so damaged it had to be towed from the scene. All of this bad luck surrounding Posty does make you wonder just what the hell he had done to deserve such tragic fortune. Well, it turned out that only a few months before these incidents, Post Malone had a run-in with what some have described as the most haunted object in the world. Going into a room which held the quote-unquote Dybbuk box, with that being the Yiddish word for malicious spirit, this box had formerly belonged to a Holocaust survivor who had escaped the Nazis in occupied Poland and purchased this haunted box which contained the following creepy items: 2 1920s pennies, a lock of blonde hair bound with a cord, a lock of black and brown hair bound with a cord, a small statue engraved with the Hebrew word shalom, a small golden wine goblet, 1 dried rosebud, and a single candle holder with octopus-shaped legs. Now, this haunted box has changed hands many times over the years, with owners reporting some of the following creepy things going down in its presence: a series of horrific recurring nightmares, a stroke, a stench of cat urine, a stench of jasmine flowers, hair falling out, light bulbs turning off, hives, coughing up blood, and head-to-toe welts. Now, this haunted box ended up in a museum, and a few months before the terrifying bad luck was stowed upon him, Post Malone had visited that box in person and even touched a guy who was touching it. Next up is reverse industry plants. Now, I've already explained what industry plants are to you guys already. The idea that the record industry can take a nobody and make them famous, plant them in the industry, turning them into the biggest artists that they want them to be, without that artist necessarily having any kind of discernible talent or skills, or just reason that they would be big other than the industry wants them to be big. Well, a reverse industry plant is a kind of creepy idea that's sort of the opposite of this. As has been explained in an interesting Kanye to the forum post, explaining, isn't it a little odd that all the rappers like these 3 who rap about the government conspiracy theories are whack and or corn stalks? Like, is it possible the government finds rappers who rap about them and then pressure the music industry to push them on YouTube or whatever so they become popular like a normal plant, except they specifically pick the wackest possible rappers, so it seems like speaking out against the government is corny and...
That's just retarded. I think it more so has to do with that they try to push a rapper, the rapper falls off immediately. And now they blaming this shit.
Hobson-ish. And since it's seen as corny, the actual good rappers avoid the subject matter altogether. So what this is saying is that the industry is kind of picking on people that are speaking out against the government, the New World Order, the Illuminati, all that conscious bullshit, and the industry is saying, okay, well, we're going to do the opposite of what we do to the plants, and we're going to sabotage the careers of these woke people so that those ideas don't get any push, and the actual good rappers who are doing well also choose not to talk about that subject matter. Now, the other theory on what a reverse industry plant is also comes from the Kanye to the Forum. This one describes a reverse industry plant as signing older famous acts just to control their catalogs and who, when, and where they get to influence. Some labels are doing this to get revenge on artists that they didn't originally sign and profit from. Petty shit is real everywhere, basically forgetting to water the plant and neglecting it. So what this theory is saying is that the reverse industry plant is that the industry gets revenge on rappers that turn them down or stay independent later on in their career when they're kind of washed up but sitting on a catalogue of music that is still valuable, signing deals with those artists and getting the catalogues that they were refused earlier in their careers so that they can then control those older artists later in their careers despite having made no contributions to their success at the start. Interesting theory. I'd like to see an example. Labels as trafficking fronts. This is the suggestion that there are rap record labels that are fronts for the trafficking of drugs and hell, maybe in some cases, people. Here's an article from Hip Hop Wired titled, "About to Blow, 7 hip-hop labels accused of being fronts for illegal drug operations." And if you continue, there are numerous examples of record labels over the last few decades that have ended up being accused of genuinely being fronts of drug dealing operations. Fizz Entertainment. After a 4-year sting operation into Bay Area rapper Mac Dre's label, the feds said that it was a front for a nationwide drug ring specializing in the club drug ecstasy. Sucker Free Records. In December 2011, former Houston record label owner Big Hug.
Well, yeah. I don't think it's a front. Actually, no. I think BMF was that Black Mafia family.
Was arrested and exposed for being a key player in a large-scale drug network. SAR Entertainment CEO James Jimmy Henchman Rosemond, formerly managed clients like Game and Sean Kingston, was arrested by the feds in New York City, with him heading a $10 million.
Those are the 2 worst artists. What the fuck? Those are the 2 worst. Those are 2 artists I would not be proud of managing. The Game and Big Sean, or Sean Kingston. Those are not 2 people I'd be proud of.
Drug ring. Behind Das Scenes Entertainment, Ricky D.P. Branscombe and Charles Ransom were indicted by the feds for moving large amounts of cocaine from LA to Baltimore. Murder Inc., the same thing, though they did get off. My personal view, this is obviously cap. There's always going to be examples where the drug game and the rap game have overlapped over the years, and hell, a lot of rappers do come from these streets, and it's not surprising that maybe they will have a little bit of a murky past in the drug dealing underworld, but that doesn't necessarily mean that hip-hop labels en masse are all part of some kind of cocaine trafficking ring that I know of. Lo-fi beats mind control.
Oh, Lord.
Now, this next conspiracy was one that I couldn't really find any information on specifically, but I think I know what it's referring to, so I'm just going to break it down for you. Now, I think this conspiracy, basically the idea that those lo-fi beats to chill and study to that are constantly booming on YouTube are somehow controlling the minds of the people that are listening to it. Hell, if you want to get all Illuminati and conspiratorial, you could probably say that the Illuminati are using thought control, mind control, MK Ultras in the lo-fi beats to study to make people crazy, to make people serve the New World Order. If you ask me, lo-fi beats do have mind-controlling properties, mainly that they allow you to focus on getting some work done. Next one, Nation of Islam controls rap. Now, if you are a old head, if you are educated on the kind of hip-hop that was popping in maybe the late 80s, the early 90s, etc., you are probably very well aware of hip-hop's overlap with the Nation of Islam. Numerous rappers are followers of the Nation of Islam, and over the years, many have made it part of their music. Even here, as we can see on this article on Wikipedia, Islam and hip-hop in the United States. Numerous hip-hop artists have identified as followers of Islam. We got Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Busta Rhymes, Ice Cube, Mos Def, Q-Tip. Less and less in the 2000s, but we've also got Lil Durk apparently converted to Islam once released from jail. Pop Smoke had his funeral in a mosque and converted to Islam in 2017. We've got Akon, French Montana. There's a lot of rappers that identify with the Nation of Islam or just Islam in general. Whether or not the Nation of Islam controls rap, hell, I couldn't find specific conspiracies for some kind of overarching Nation of Islam control of rap, but hell, I'm sure some of these names that we just looked at a minute ago would love to see their religion, their beliefs controlling the rap like some sort of New World Order conspiracy ting. Probably not true, but good stuff, good for them. The next theory, Lil Wayne was... Now, if you've seen my video on how Lil Wayne lost his virginity at age 11, you'll already understand what this story is really about. The conspiracy theory itself will suggest that Lil Wayne was somehow taken advantage of at age 11, and depends on how you look at it, you could say that. What really happened was that it seems that Lil Wayne was kind of pressured / provided with an older woman who, you know, got a little freaky with him when he was only 11, apparently at the behests and in the company of Birdman, Cash Money Records CEO. Wayne talks about this in a behind-the-scenes documentary where he says to a younger member of Young Money, Lil Twist, that he's going to do him like Birdman did Wayne back in the day, and, you know, even though he's young and underage, bring some women around to, you know, do some stuff. Problem is, a lot of people have taken this theory, have taken this nug of information, and combined it with other theories that we're going to get into later in this video, that Lil Wayne's surrogate father, Birdman, and other people involved with Cash Money, how do I put this, have a real taste for Young Money, if you get what I'm saying. Now, obviously this isn't true, but Lil Wayne did lose his virginity at age 11, and hell, depending on how you look at it, you could say that that was kind of abusive. CIA drill vibrations. Now, this is another one that I kind of couldn't find too much information about. I did find this one Guardian article called How the CIA Tortured Its Detainees, and it mentions something about a guy that was kind of tortured by they would hold an electric drill next to his head. I'm assuming that the vibrations of that drill near somebody's head is like a fear sort of torture. I found another article on Vox called How the CIA Used Music to Break Detainees, with the suggestion that music was being used to torture people that were being detained. And hell, for me, if I can combine these two theories together, CIA drill vibrations, I would come up with my own made-up conspiracy theory on the spot that the CIA actually invented a pioneering torture method, subjecting detainees at black sites all over the world to endless loops of maximum volume Chief Keef, Lil Durk, and King Von songs non-stop. CIA Chicago drill torture, you heard it first here. I don't know, I just made that one up, but it seems like it could make sense, right? Drill vibrations, I don't know. Next conspiracy theory, now this one is super hilarious. Nicki Minaj does not exist. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the conspiracy theory that Nicki Minaj is actually just Jay-Z.
What did I tell you earlier? Literally, what did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Sped up. You heard me right. It's an article in the Industry Observer saying
that is crazy image. What the fuck is wrong?
That Nicki Minaj is a figment of all of our imaginations. She has been literally crafted by the record industries, and all of her songs are just Jay-Z sped up. And if you needed any proof, we've got the smoking gun for you right here.
You see what I mean? Just stupid shit. That's all these people did, is just like, clearly it's Nicki Minaj. It's like, no the fuck it isn't. Right, clearly it's Jay-Z. No the fuck it ain't. That is a woman. You just toned down her voice.
I don't need to see more proof of that. That one's facts. Never seen Nicki and Jay-Z in the same place. Answer me that. Answer me that. Huh? Not actually next to each other. Alright, it's one picture. One picture. Doesn't matter. Alright, two pictures. Another picture of them. Doesn't matter. False. Falsehood. Okay, third picture of them together. Okay, I'm not sure this one's true. Not sure it's true. Alright people, the last conspiracy for this section is the Lord Infamous heart attack gun. Now, Lord Infamous, one of the founding members of 3 6 Mafia, tragically passed away at age 40 as a result of a heart attack in his sleep. A pretty standard passing, one that doesn't really elicit a lot of conspiratorial thinking. However, this particular heart attack has been looped in with another mainstream conspiracy theory that the CIA secretly created an undetectable heart attack gun developed by the US military, which apparently can, without any detection, cause a heart attack to anybody that it is fired at. With one article explaining that the CIA latched onto poisons, ones that were undetectable and appeared to mimic a heart attack. They found it in a specifically designed poison engineered for the CIA. Only a skilled pathologist who knew what to look for would ever discover the victim's heart attack wasn't from natural causes, and to deliver the poison, the injection was frozen and packed into a dart. Darts from the new secret assassination gun would penetrate clothing, but only leave a small red dot on the skin's surface. Once in the body, the dart disintegrated and the frozen poison inside would begin to melt, entering the bloodstream and causing a cardiac episode. Now, whether or not a heart attack gun or even poisonous darts can or have ever been developed by the CIA is one question that's perhaps hard to answer, but whether or not Lord Infamous's heart attack was caused by a CIA heart gun is a little easier to answer, and I would suggest that straight cap. Alright gang, so we are now into the lower part of the iceberg. We're getting deeper, we're getting icier, we're getting frostier, colder, it's getting crazy, people, and the next conspiracy on this list is outrageous. So strap in, you're not going to believe this one. Big Lurch cannibalism. If you didn't know this story, Big Lurch was a rapper from Texas who is currently serving a life sentence for murdering his 21-year-old roommate and eating parts of her body in April 2002. This story is wild. So he was sharing an apartment with a guy that I think may have been his manager and that guy's girlfriend. And one day, Big Lurch got high on PCP and just went into a frenzy, murdering this woman and trying to eat her in the most brutal way. Wikipedia says her chest had been torn open, a 3-inch blade was found broken off in her scapula, teeth marks were found on her face and on her lungs, which had been torn from her chest. The friend testified that Lurch was found naked, covered in blood, standing on the street and staring at the sky. A medical examination performed shortly after his capture found human flesh in his stomach that was not his own, with the victim's boyfriend saying that he and Big Lurch used PCP the day before the murder took place. Now, he was sentenced to life in prison for this, and some of the shocking details even made it into a TV documentary.
Police arrested the raving rapper and placed him in LA County Psych Ward. In an exclusive interview, Singleton talked to us from jail.
Do you know that you were actually chewing on her flesh, allegedly, when the cops came?
No, I didn't know nothing about that.
I don't want to take any drug that would make me forget that I just ate someone. Hey, what the fuck? Sorry, insane as it is.
The next thing I remember is waking up in a room by myself, and it was horrible. I mean, and I'm thinking, what am I doing here?
Do you remember getting angry at the victim or at her boyfriend?
I mean, all I can remember, you know, the world was gonna end, and I had to find the devil and kill the devil before the world ended.
Tupac's Island. Now, we've already spoken about the conspiracy theory that Tupac is indeed still alive, living out the rest of his days in Cuba, but another kind of side story.
It don't even sound like a good drug, as in, like, you should, like, I don't think it's, I don't know, man. That shit don't sound like a drug anybody should be taking. Like, the motherfucker just said that he ate somebody's face off. Like,
stalk from this conspiracy exists that suggests that Tupac is chilling on an island somewhere, perhaps his own island. Hell, who knows, he made a lot of money from those records, he might have his own private island. Apparently, the source of this conspiracy is from Suge Knight himself, who told TMZ that Tupac ain't dead, he is chilling somewhere on an island.
Why you think nobody been arrested if they said they didn't want?
I've heard that too. I went, I don't know where overseas. I think it's just England. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I believe overseas, literally, if you go to a person and you ask, like, hey, can I eat you? They agree to it, you can. I'm gonna be real. I'd be lying if I would say I wouldn't be interested. Just as like a thing where it's like I could say that the rest of my life that I tasted what a human tastes like. But then I'd probably be paranoid the rest of my life and kill myself. because I'm like, oh, I'm cursed. and and cannibalism, where country. Yep. Okay. Um. And cannibalism in Europe. They probably come to my house being like, "You're British? Ew." Gotta get me. But yeah, it's legal in the UK, and literally the reason for it is just that there's never been a law passed in regards to it. Obviously, you can't just kill someone. It has to be like, what is it? Like somebody gets a procedure done where they have to remove skin or even a body part. You're like, "Hey, man, can we eat this?" They're like, "Sure."
One killed Tupac.
Because they're snitching to the police, so they ain't gonna get
That's
arrested.
the snitch and be smart, son. Because Tupac.
It's funny about this video is like 3 years old. It's funny now because there's actually been a man arrested for killing Tupac. And what is it? Suge Knight, in a jail phone call, refused to talk about it or even testify against the person.
Ain't as smart as you should be. Tupac not dead, if he was dead, they'd be arresting those dudes for murder. You know he's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar on the island somewhere, you know what I mean?
Ali Vegas gay rituals. Now this one's ridiculous. So rapper Ali Vegas, most well known for Well Nothing, he appeared in an explosive interview where he supposedly exposed the gay rituals that famous rappers have had to do to get their fame.
They send the stylist at them first.
Yeah. Yep.
And if the stylist is like, if the stylist report back and be like, oh, he ready, then they invite you to the party. Like,
They try to put this tight ass shirt on you.
That's what they do.
And if you wear the shirt,
they like, oh, he ready.
He with it.
That's you telling them like, yeah, I'm ready. And then next thing you know, you get invited to the party where the greeting is the man squeezing your dick.
Next theory is that Ice Cube is QAnon. So Ice.
Oh, speaking of QAnon, allegedly, because from them, they said the U.S. government is completely shutting down forever in 48 hours.
Ice Cube has been related to the QAnon movement for a little while, which in case you didn't know is a far-right political conspiracy theory that according to Wikipedia alleges that a cabal of satanic, cannibalistic pet run a global child sex trafficking ring and conspired against former President Donald Trump during his term in office. So Ice Cube has shared QAnon info such as this banner raised by one of QAnon supporters, I suppose, saying media is complicit in treason. Ice Cube then had to respond to backlash on this, people saying, take this down, QAnon is dangerous. To which Cube replied, stop it, I don't know who the fuck Q is, it's just a true statement. Well, at a certain point, people started to point the finger at Ice Cube saying, god damn it, maybe he's Q, maybe he's Ice Cube, Cubanon, baby. Now, there wasn't really much proof or much supporting evidence that Ice Cube is indeed the
Everybody just need to not listen to Ice Cube.
The Q shady figure that is supposedly sort of the figurehead for spreading information through the QAnon movement, but there's plenty of proof that Ice Cube has been sharing, promoting, and indulging in QAnon conspiracy theories, including this Spin article titled Ice Cube is sharing anti-Semitic memes and QAnon tweets. And this includes conspiracy theories about black cubes of Saturn, noses being cut off, sphinxes and shit. Pretty sure that, is that so, Beck? It's very clear that Ice Cube is indeed a bit of a sucker, but Q, not so sure. Detox Time Capsule. Now this is the theory that Dr. Dre's long-awaited and never released album Detox, which was much teased over a long period of time but never released, was in fact buried underground or saved somewhere as part of a time capsule to be opened by future generations. There's not too much evidence to go on with this theory, other than the fact that Detox never came out, but there's a few little clues like this 2012 article from Soul in Stereo naming the 10 things that should be kept in a 2012 time capsule. And what's on the list? Detox, baby. Well, actually not Detox, but more specifically, they say that in the time capsule needs to be a blank CD so hip-hop fans can download Dr. Dre's Detox when it's finally released in 2062. A Hip Hop DX article also came out later saying that Dr. Dre's mythical album Detox is said to have bangers and heat that unfortunately the world will never hear. Is it possible that Dr. Dre's Detox album that everybody wanted to hear was actually finished and then buried as part of a time capsule for future generations to open? Or was it just whack? Was it just the content album that we ended up getting anyway? Probably. Moorish rappers. Now this conspiracy theory relates to the Moorish Science Temple of America, a religious organization founded by Timothy Drew, based on the unscientific premise that African Americans are descendants of the Moabites and are Moorish, sometimes spelled Moorish by nationality and Islamic by faith. Now look, I'm not going to claim to know too much about the Moors, but the theory is that there are several rappers that are members of this movement, particularly Nas, who some have pointed out that Nas has dropped several lyrics that seem to suggest that he is pro-Moor or a Moor himself, including the line from You're My N-Words saying, the problem is we started thinking like the colonists till Noble Drew Ali started dropping that consciousness. The J Electronica Rothschild connection.
Oh, I remember this.
Now, we touched on this briefly earlier with the Rothschild record label. This is the idea that J Electronica basically finessed his way into the secretive Rothschild family, a wealthy family with centuries-deep ties to the global financial and banking systems. Now, J Electronica's involvement with the Rothschild seems to extend in a pretty limited fashion to female heir of the Rothschild fortune, Kate Rothschild. She ended up having an extramarital affair with J Electronica after she started working with him, leading to many conspiracy theories, perhaps stoked by the fact that J Electronica is one of these more conscious rappers that talks about conspiracy theories in his music anyway. Jay seemed to spend a couple years piping down Kate Rothschild, and at least in the eyes of many hip-hop fans, sticking up two fingers to the Illuminati bloodsuckers. However, the reality is far less exciting, because rather than infiltrating the Illuminati bloodlines, it seems what really happened was J Electronica was just a homewrecker, breaking up the marriage of a pretty dull, middle-class, rich white woman with a famous last name. Shit, Jay, I thought you joined the Illuminati. How comes you still can't sell any records? Birdman Murders. Now, this is the
J Electronica's debut album was really good. It took 12 years, but it finally came out. Barely sold anything, though. It was good because it had Jay-Z basically on the entire album. Which, he doesn't have credit on it, but...
idea that Cash Money Records head honcho, Birdman, has been involved or has ordered the murder of several people that he's been affiliated with over the years. Now, for the record, just so I don't get any shooters sent at my head, I just want to say unequivocally there is no proof and there are no convictions of murder against Birdman, though he does have a couple of charming teardrop tattoos on his face that may suggest otherwise. Anywho, there's been several people who unfortunately lost their lives close to the Cash Money clique, and conspiracy-minded fans have pointed the finger at Birdman. This includes Magnolia Magnolia Shorty, a female New Orleans-based rapper who was shot 26 times in a suspicious double homicide. Birdman's Cash Money artist B.T.Y. Young'un, who was shot and killed in Lil Wayne's Holly Grove neighborhood in New Orleans. Yella Boy, who was shot dead in New Orleans way back in 1997. He actually belonged to a rap group called UNLV, who were the first group to sign to Cash Money, with it being said by some that Cash Money Records owner Birdman had Yella killed after Yella humiliated him by pistol whipping him and shooting his car over unpaid royalties, with it even being suggested that Birdman's song What Happened to That Boy was a reference to this murder. 2 Dr. Dre's. Now this is less of a theory and just straight up kind of a weird fact of hip hop, is that there are 2 Dr. Dre's. There are actually 2 Dr. Dre's. They're not a clone. There's not a Dr. Dre clone running around making beats, making detox all over town. There are actually 2 Dr. Dre's. The original Dr. Dre, Andre Young, who we know from NWA and The Chronic, and Dr. Dre, or Dra with a little accent above the E, I don't know how you say it, the American radio personality and former MTV video jockey. There he is. The other Dr. Dre. Not as glamorous looking as the main Dr. Dre, but you know. Daylight Simulation Theory. Now, this one again was a little bit of a hard one to find, but battle rapper and internet clown, kind of hilarious, recurring character on DJ Vlad with a crazy face tattoo, Daylight or Dalet. He basically has pushed this theory, he said it a few times in lives, that he believes that we're all living in a simulation. Now, I don't know if this is a hip-hop conspiracy or just a worldwide global conspiracy that seems to be being pushed in this case by a hip-hop rapper, but Dalit believes that we're all living in a video game style conspiracy. You be the judge for yourself.
This is a simulation. None of this is real.
Lil Uzi Vert Hell concerts. Now this relates to an incident in July 2018 where Lil Uzi Vert basically told fans at a festival performance that they were going to hell with him. Lil Uzi Vert's been no secret to the satanic imagery in his music and in his artwork, but this was quite a striking incident where he told the fans to their goddamn faces that they were going straight to hell with him, leading to what I would describe as kind of slightly confused and embarrassing scenes.